An often overlooked but profoundly transformative Stoic rule is the daily enrichment of the soul. Every day, strive to learn something new, a quote, an idea, a reflection that strengthens you mentally and emotionally. Seneca believed in acquiring at least one new insight daily to build resilience against life's inevitable hardships. Wisdom is not found in grand, life-altering revelations, but in consistent, small gains that compound over time. Think of this daily enrichment as laying bricks to build a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Connected to this is the Stoic rule of performing one good deed every day. Stoicism is not just about self-improvement. It's about virtuous action and service to others. Whether it's a kind word, lending a hand, or offering your time, small acts of generosity and kindness have the power to transform lives, both yours and those around you. Make it a habit to do something positive for others each day, and you'll live a life filled with purpose, gratitude, and genuine connection. These Stoic rules, whether focusing on what's within our control, winning the morning, staying present, or enriching the soul, offer a roadmap to a life of greater clarity and fulfillment. When you embrace them, you'll approach each day with wisdom, peace, and a sense of direction that allows you to respond purposefully to life's challenges. By applying these timeless principles, you'll discover a life that is truly meaningful, with each moment contributing to your growth and inner peace. Key 1. Stoic. The Stoic virtues are more than just abstract ideals. They're actionable principles that we actively embody every day. Virtue isn't a passive concept, it's a verb. It's about making intentional, thoughtful choices in each moment, in every situation. A true Stoic doesn't just ask, "What's the minimum I can do?" They ask, "What is the right thing to do here? How can I show integrity, discipline, and compassion in this very moment?" It's about doing good, not just thinking about it. It's about choosing kindness, fairness, and wisdom whenever we can, without hesitation. Seneca wisely pointed out that every person we meet is an opportunity to practice kindness. Think of each person you encounter not as a random interaction, but as a moment to make a positive difference in someone's day, to show compassion and empathy. Whether it's a colleague, a stranger, or a loved one, every moment offers a chance to live out the virtues we hold dear. One of the most profound Stoic principles can be summed up with a simple question: is this essential? We often get bogged down by distractions, thoughts, actions, and words that aren't truly necessary. The Stoics encourage us to cut through the clutter of the inessential so we can focus on what truly matters. When we ask ourselves why we're doing something, we should be asking, is it because it's important? Does it move me closer to my goals or to the life I want to live? If the answer is no, then it's time to eliminate it. Saying no is one of the most powerful tools in a Stoic's arsenal. It's not just about rejecting something. It's about choosing what's truly important. Marcus Aurelius, with his vast responsibilities as emperor, understood this lesson well. He had to prioritize constantly, rejecting the trivial so he could devote his time to what really mattered. If he hadn't, he would have been overwhelmed by the noise of the world and never found the time to fulfill his true purpose. The same holds for us. By saying no to distractions, we carve out the space to focus on what brings us peace, fulfillment, and progress. Another fascinating Stoic practice is the idea of speaking with the dead. While this might sound strange at first, it's a deeply meaningful concept. The Stoic philosopher Zeno was once told by an oracle that he would gain wisdom by conversing with the dead. It wasn't until years later, while reading a passage from Socrates, that he understood the oracle's message. To read is to engage in a conversation with the great minds of the past. Philosophy is a dialogue that spans across time, connecting us with thinkers who have shaped the world. Every time we open a book, we're having a conversation with those who came before us, absorbing their wisdom and applying it to our lives. This is why reading daily, away from the noise of news and social media, is crucial for a Stoic life. It's not about consuming information for the sake of it. It's about immersing ourselves in the words of philosophers, leaders, and creators who have walked the path before us. Books serve as time machines, bringing the thoughts of Socrates, Seneca, and others directly into our lives. By reading deeply and thoughtfully, we cultivate our own wisdom, grounding ourselves in timeless principles that help us navigate the challenges of the present. Another key Stoic virtue is self-discipline. The Stoics weren't focused on controlling others. They were focused on controlling themselves. They held themselves to the highest standards of virtue and personal excellence, knowing that this was within their power. But they also understood the importance of being tolerant with others. People make mistakes, and not everyone has the same knowledge or opportunities. As Marcus Aurelius famously said, "Be strict with yourself, but tolerant with others." We can hold ourselves to high standards, but we must also practice empathy and patience toward those who may not be as disciplined or wise as we are. This balance is crucial in our relationships. When we make mistakes, we often show ourselves understanding, recognizing the reasons behind our actions. The Stoics encourage us to extend that same courtesy to others, coming up with explanations that help us empathize with them rather than dismissing them. When we do so, we maintain our integrity and peace of mind, while also nurturing compassion and understanding for others. Finally, one of the most striking Stoic teachings is to make beautiful choices. As Epictetus taught, if you want a beautiful life, you must first make beautiful choices. This doesn't mean seeking fleeting pleasure, but rather pursuing what's virtuous, even when it's hard. Pleasure fades quickly, but the fulfillment that comes from choosing what's right, even in difficulty, lasts. When we act with integrity, choosing the good, the just, the wise, we create a life filled with lasting beauty and meaning. These Stoic virtues offer us a way of life that's grounded in integrity, discipline, and compassion. By making intentional, beautiful choices, we can live in harmony with ourselves, others, and the world around us. And in doing so, we not only build a better life for ourselves, but contribute to a better world for everyone. Key 1. Stoic, have you ever noticed that when you push yourself to do something difficult, or when you exercise true self-discipline, the satisfaction lingers far longer than the effort itself? The work may be exhausting, but the pride remains, enduring in a way that the discomfort of struggle does not. When faced with decisions throughout the day, we have a choice. Will we opt for the easy, pleasant path, or will we choose the hard but meaningful one? This very dilemma is at the core of what is known as the choice of Hercules, a pivotal moment in Stoic philosophy. In the myth, Hercules stands at a crossroads where he must decide between two paths, one leading to virtue and discipline, and the other to vice and indulgence. The easy road is tempting, but it's the difficult road, the path of virtue, that ultimately shapes his greatness. Hercules would never have become the hero he is if he had chosen the easier option. So when you're lying in bed, staring at the snooze button, or when you're faced with the decision to exercise versus lounging on the couch, think about what choice you're making. Are you choosing the easy route, or are you choosing the beautiful one? Are you opting for kindness or letting unkindness slip through? Are you choosing to forgive and be understanding, or are you allowing anger and bitterness to take hold? Every moment presents an opportunity to make a beautiful choice, and it's these choices that define us. A Stoic principle that supports this mindset is to listen more than you speak. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, pointed out that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. It's a reminder to pause, to listen, and to absorb. In a world where people are constantly talking, there's a quiet power in silence. The wisdom of the Stoics suggests that we should question whether what we're about to say is truly necessary or helpful. It's better to trip with your feet than with your tongue. The discipline of knowing when to be quiet is just as valuable as speaking up. Consider the ancient Spartan who sat silently during a dinner where everyone else was talking. When someone asked why he wasn't speaking, he responded, "If I were stupid, I wouldn't have been able to stay quiet this long." This story illustrates that silence and the wisdom to absorb knowledge are often more powerful than speaking for the sake of filling space. Another key Stoic insight is this: every obstacle is an opportunity. This idea is beautifully encapsulated by Marcus Aurelius, who wrote that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, challenges are not just things to endure, but opportunities to practice virtue, to grow stronger, and to make the right choice, even when it's hard. Life doesn't always offer us clear, straightforward paths to success, but it always gives us a chance to respond with grace, integrity, and wisdom. For instance, if someone hurts you, it's an opportunity to choose forgiveness. If you face discrimination or setbacks, it's a chance to persevere with dignity and to rise above bitterness or resentment. Stoicism teaches that we don't control what happens to us, but we do control how we respond to it. Every challenge, every difficulty can be transformed into fuel for our personal growth, just like how adding wood to a fire makes it burn brighter. The Stoic isn't someone who passively accepts everything that comes their way. Rather, they actively engage with life, turning obstacles into stepping stones toward greater virtue. It's about making beautiful choices even when circumstances are ugly, and using the difficulties we face as opportunities to become the best versions of ourselves. Finally, the most important Stoic rule revolves around living in the present moment, or, as the Stoics call it, memento mori. Time is fleeting, and every moment is a chance to live fully. The Stoics remind us that life is not something that happens in the future or the past. It happens now. We're always dying. Every minute that passes is lost to us forever, and that realization should shape how we live. When you wake up, approach the day as though it's a second chance. We don't know how many more chances we'll get, so every moment should be treated as precious. Live with intention, with purpose, and with an awareness that this day could be your last. Don't waste it. Make beautiful choices, be present, and focus on doing what only you are capable of doing. By adopting these principles, you'll find yourself on the path to becoming the person you're truly capable of being. Every day presents a fresh opportunity to rise above and make your life meaningful.